Welcome, 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 welcome. We got an amazing show lined up for you tonight. I want to welcome everybody in. This is your host, Anthony Rosa, Mr. Remedy, and you're watching another show on the Round Table Remedies. And tonight, I get to bring on two great friends. You know, we met over a decade ago. We were in the grind, and we were literally going sleeve to sleeve. Fast forward, not much has changed. We're still in the grind and we're still sleeve to sleeve. And today is actually National Be a Millionaire Day. I want you to think about, as a millionaire, what do you think about? You have $1 million. Where would you go? What would you buy? Today, we're going to focus on the millionaire mindset. And in a moment, I'm going to allow the speakers just to say hello and introduce themselves in speaker rotation. So first of all, I want to welcome Chris. Chris, just tell everybody a little bit about yourself. How's your day? What's going on?
Thank you, and first of all, it's a pleasure to be on the broadcast because I always watch some of your other shows that you have and how you're promoting it and positivity and everything. So just to be on it and to be able to speak, that definitely means a lot. So thank you for having me on it. So for everybody that doesn't know, my name is Chris Patire, but most people call me Crispy, hence the brand that I have. I actually have my own clothing line. It's called Crispy. A lot of people say Chris, but it's really Crispy. And my man Ant's wearing some of the shirt right there. That's dope. And so I've been doing the brand for about a year now. And before that, I was actually founded another brand called Misery Loves Company, and I did that for about a year with my ex partner. And then I just went on my own and I started doing my Crispy brand. So that's where we're at right now. And so hope to bring you guys a lot of value in the show.
Haha, put a little, a genuine plug in there. Why not? For my boy. And by the way, the material feels real good. This is like some polyester. I'm just throwing it out there. You gotta go
Heavy
grab
duty.
someone, hyping it up. But thank you, Chris, for coming on. It's a pleasure to have you on. And we're definitely gonna be giving some real remedies. So those that are watching, you want to make sure you sit tight and stay tuned. And so next up, anchoring us in, we got my boy Rico King. Rico, thank you so much for joining us. Tell those that are watching a little bit about you and what's going on.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm Rico King. It's a pleasure to be here as well to join Chris and Anthony on this platform to speak. I'm originally from Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky, but I live in Jersey City, and I'm just coming here to share some of my thoughts and insight, give you a little insight on where I'm coming from in a particular area of the entertainment business, multifaceted in dancing and as well as TV and film, and also hosting. So that's what you're going to hear about from me, and from that perspective of how I laid down the foundation to be in a position to walk away from my regular 9-to-5 job and sustain this for over 2012. I remember we worked together at Radio Shack when I was like dreaming of what I am now.
Yeah. Shout out to David Para. I think he's doing a little bit of traveling right now, but definitely was the glue and the whole reason we are, we connected. So
anytime you say David, I think of this movement.
We shouting him out. Yeah, we showing love out here.
He's the master of the bands.
Yeah.
Exercise bands.
Those exercise, and you know what? I see those the videos of where he is. I think he's out in Mexico City, traveling the world, and he's on a mission right now. So David, we support you. That's what's up. Keep it up. So for those that are watching brand new, on the Roundtable Remedies was created to inspire, connect, and educate you, from real people, real stories. And, we right here, we keep it real. And we're going to talk about some real challenges and things that we had to go through. And, I'm super excited to have these gentlemen on. And for those that, don't know, it wasn't an easy upbringing, for myself. And, I had to really rely on those that were around me and try to find the positive people that, I could work with. And, these two gentlemen, I probably haven't told you this directly to your face, but, you were that next level for me, you know, and as I've watched you all progress through the years and, you know, seeing some of the challenges and seeing some of the evolution, it motivates me. And so I really want to make this all about you guys today, you know, and today, again, National Be a Millionaire Day. It's not about having $1 million in the bank right now. It's not about, you know, if your revenue on your tax returns a million, is what's in here and what's in here. And so, Chris, you know, first up, I just want to say again, thank you. Tell us a little bit about, you know, how it's been through this journey, starting these brands, you know, things that you're doing now. People see all the glamour and the rooftop events and, you know, the pictures, but tell us what it's really all about.
Yeah, I mean, actually, funny. I had this conversation today with one of my other good friends who's helping me out with the business. Listen, when you first start anything, whether it be whatever kind of field you're in, the fashion industry, the acting industry, the music industry, it doesn't matter where you are. When you first begin, you're gonna start from scratch. You're not gonna be already ahead of the game. You're gonna have to learn everything from the bottom up. So when you first start out, you have to be confident, because if you're not confident in what you're doing and what you're trying to build, you're going to fail, you're going to fall, and you're going to get lazy and you're going to give up. That's the most common reason why people don't achieve their dreams, is because they give up way too early. When I first started this brand about a year ago, I was getting 0 people to visit my website. There was nothing happening. I was getting no sales. I wasn't getting any traction, nothing. But guess what? If I would have gave up back then, I wouldn't have been where I'm at now, hitting a lot of momentum and just increasing revenue and increasing, you know, the brand and making the brand awareness. So basically what it's about is you have to have a focused mindset. You cannot give up. You cannot slow down. Consistent is the key. Consistency is the key. Even when there's nothing going on, you have to be putting in that work every single day, because if you're not going to do it, somebody else is going to do it. Why would you let somebody else achieve what you want to achieve just because they worked harder than you? You get what I'm saying? Don't let anybody work harder than you. Your dreams are closer than you think. You just have to put in the work, and you have to make sure that you believe in what you're doing. Most people are not going to believe in you. Most people are just going to, you know, be there and laugh behind the scenes, but it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Because as long as you know that it can happen and you consistently put in the work, even if you don't get results right away, it's going to happen eventually.
You know, and just talking about, you know, having a focused mindset and putting in the work. Can you run someone by, you know, down your day, you know, like the day in the routine, you know, when you're cutting it off at night, when you're getting up, when you're taking the orders, when you're picking up, like that mindset, like how does that work?
It's basically a 24/7 mindset. When you're an entrepreneur and you're doing these things alone, and you're not reporting to anybody, it's not going to get done unless you make it get done, or unless you do it. So as soon as I wake up, basically I check the website, because I have orders coming in daily, up to 50 orders a day, and it just keeps on increasing. So at this point in time, I'm obviously going to have to, you know, hire more help and get a team around me bigger than I have now, because it's expanding. So basically, when I wake up, I'm nonstop working. Either I'm fulfilling orders, I'm making sure they're getting packaged right, I'm making sure that the labels are on correctly, I'm making sure that the designs are exactly where they're supposed to be, the measurements of the designs, the colors of the designs, the material of the shirt. Then I have to make sure that the actual label packaging is like read correctly and printed out correctly. I have to I have to be designing every single day. If I'm not designing every single day, and if I'm not coming out with different kinds of merchandise, and for the season, spring, summer, fall, if I don't do that, I'm going to fall behind, and it's just not going to expand. So constantly I'm creating and creating and creating. And at the same time, I'm making sure orders are fulfilled. I'm making sure people get their orders, and shipping is on time. I'm making sure that they're packaged correctly. I'm making sure that the presentation is neatly. I'm making sure that I'm expanding the brand in the midst of all of doing all the other factors that run into, you know, that come with doing a fashion brand. So at this point, you know, once you start expanding, you need a good team around you. You can't do it all yourself. So where the brand is now, I'm going to delegate certain people to handle certain tasks while I focus on creating and expanding, because I know where the brand can be, and I know exactly where it can be in the next 5 years, but I can't get there without a team around me to help me. So it's very important that you have a team and that you trust that team so that you make things happen.
So you're hitting a lot of things, about delegating certain tasks and, constantly creating. What gives you that burning desire? How do you keep going?
The one thing that makes me keep going is that, and I say this a lot, and this is very important for people to understand, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. You can die right now. You can go to sleep and not wake up. Would you want to die without leaving a legacy, or do you want to live making sure that you create an empire so that you can pass on to your kids and to your family and to your loved ones? That's what really pushes me, because if I die tomorrow, I don't want to be known for not doing anything. I want to be known for creating a friggin' legacy so that people can understand and it can be passed on to your family, and you can create something bigger than you. So what pushes me is that I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. I don't know when life is going to end for me. I don't know. But while I'm here, I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to not stop until I'm 10 feet down under the ground.
Right. Rico, how are you hearing all this? How does this make you feel?
Definitely
with the team and being constantly creating and, delegating certain tasks. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Chris touched on a lot of things, a lot of values that are in alignment with where I operate from. I'm just here taking notes. I'm a student as first and foremost. So he talked about making an impact and legacy. Two key components in everything that I do are surrounded by making an impact. I have a mission each and every day to take my eyes off myself and see who I can help, and place my eyes on other people to see how can I add value to someone else, because to whom much is given, much is required. And all these blessings that have been bestowed upon me, it's important for me. It's my responsibility to pay it forward somehow, some way. So if I can just pour it from what I've gained over time and the wisdom from the things that I've been through to help someone else in areas where they need to rise up, they just may not know how or need direction from someone who actually has the fruit on the tree. It makes the biggest difference, because if it weren't for certain doors that were open for me from people with the results that I want in my life, they had it in theirs. So it was just easy. It was pretty much like 1 and 1 is 2. You see someone who's in life where you want to be, start doing what they're doing, and eventually you can have what they have. But what Chris talked about was delayed gratification, right, Chris? You touched on people wanting things instantly, and in this culture that we live in, of all these things, social media makes it so accessible for us. But real work, the real work that goes in, isn't the highlight reel that gets posted. That's just what people want to emulate. They want to emulate that the finishing product, the finished product, if you will, not the work that we're talking about putting in. That's where people, as you said, aren't consistent, and they usually fall off. People give up way too early. That's one of the notes I have, takeaways that you said, and it's true, because in the honeymoon phase, in the beginning, yes, you have that natural adrenaline rush, and it's the startup. It's like the gym effect. We all know that the biggest drop off in the gym is in the first month, and then it's always the same people that are there, that's been there consistently. So everyone goes in with this mindset of, I'm going to get fit, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do these things. And then when that consistency that starts to wear off, well, it wasn't even built, but they was just high off of the fact that new year, new me type of mantra. And well, then you always see the same players in there. And that's the ones that are willing to stick in there and go the long haul. I've always heard that the road to excellence, the extra mile, is always there's not too many people there. The person you're going to see the most there is you and your shadow. There's not too many people there at the end, but it's the people like you, Chris, and like you, Anthony, that I like to surround myself with, that are willing to bounce and work together to make us all better and keep us on that track of never giving up and staying persistent, like you said, staying consistent, and willing to go the extra mile, because that's what makes the difference in a long-term growth, sustainable growth, if you're willing to stick with anything. So those are some of my thoughts.
Yeah, and I just want to pause real quick for those that are watching on the live. We want to engage with you, and we want to ask for your, involvement. So if you have any questions, if you're going through anything, if you want to share some of the challenges, some of the success, something that you're going through this week or recently, put it in the post right now. Let's have a conversation about it. If you're watching on the replay, we definitely want to make sure that we can engage with you as well. And so we'll follow up on the later side on that. But, take that challenge. And who's willing right now to go the extra mile? Like, if you're watching right now and we're celebrating today, National Be a Millionaire. If you had $1 million right now, what would you do? How does that feel? What does it look like? And how can we continue to be consistent with that mindset so that if that's the revenue or the money or the materials what you want, or like some of the common things that you hear is, how can I pour into others? What can I do to build a team? And those are some of the remedies that you're hearing from tonight. And Chris, any when you're coming into right now, talk a little bit about the brand, talk a little bit about the direction that you're going in.
Well, I mean, right now, it's funny because everything that's happening right now, I envisioned before it even happened. So a lot of people tell me like, "Oh, are you surprised that this happened?" Honestly, no, because I envisioned it from when I started, and it was one of my goals. It just took 2 years, but it got there. And the only reason why I got there is because it was consistency. So now, finally, the brand I've always envisioned having. One of my main goals, because I was always basketball was always my life when I was growing up. Ever since I was little, I would play every single day out in the basketball court. I grew up in low income housing, basically projects, and I would play outside every single day until it got dark. And my mom told me to come in, and I would just bounce the ball inside, hoping that I would go to the NBA. Obviously, that didn't happen. That's okay, but it's crazy how life works because it's back in full rotation now, because a lot of the pieces that I make and the clothes that I make, a lot of NBA players and NFL players are wearing, and they really love the brand. And it's because one of my goals was to touch that community, the NBA community, the NFL community, the professional athletes, that kind of realm, because that's always what I had a real love for and a passion for growing up. And just because I can't play in it, it doesn't mean that I can't be involved in it somehow. So one of the goals was to have some players and some teams really, mess with the brand and really want to rock the clothes. And that's happening right now. So to see that come to life is really a blessing, because I never took my vision off of that all these years later. And I stood true to what I believed in. And that's what I believed in. So that's happening. And that's one of the main goals that I had in the beginning. So just to see that happening, that definitely means a lot. And, obviously financial goals, you have that whenever you're doing a business. So some of my financial goals are being hit as well. And it's crazy because seeing it go from 0 to 100 literally really fast, even though it's been 2 years, it's not really that fast. But in my head, since I'm running on adrenaline every single day, I just see it go by so fast, even though it's literally been 2 years working at this constantly. So to see the brand where it is now, like it's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. Wherever I want to be is nowhere near where I am right now. But it's a step. Everything is a step, It's a journey. It's a marathon. It's not going to end.
I want to think about that, right? And for those that, wanted to have those aspirations of, maybe not a professional athlete in the NFL or in the NBA, but, what about like a doctor or an attorney and, or an accountant, and life happens, right? And, maybe you don't have those physical attributes, but, maybe you don't have that positive influence around you. And sometimes in the environment that we grow up in, it kind of just, I don't want to say it dictates and it forces us to kind of drift away from our goals. But I mean, it's hard when we have so much negativity around us to stay focused on the task. And with what you shared about growing up in the housing and just not being able to maybe have that dream come true of participating by playing, you still didn't give up hope, and you were able to still align yourself in a different way. How powerful is that for those that are watching?
Very powerful. I wrote that down, Chris. Just because I'm not playing in it doesn't mean I can't be involved in it. And somehow I definitely have a testimony for that. So I can relate. That's that visionary mindset right there.
Yeah. And so, Chris, we'll hear a little bit more about you on the final thoughts portion of the segment, and I'm working on that video so we can get some stuff up. But Rico, right now, when we met, we were talking about David Patire and his health bands, and we met in the retail side, and when we were talking about this show and we were talking about your journey, I learned some more stuff about you on how you paved your path, which is quite unique as well. So please talk us, on that path and some of the decisions and choices you had to make to get you to where you are now.
Oh, it's a great topic to even begin with. It started with the decision of drawing the line in the sand, saying to myself that I'm going to make a commitment to do things differently in order to create a result in my life that no one else can do but me. So there's no handouts. The opportunities are there, but they don't come knocking at your door. You have to go out and seek them. You have to pursue them yourself, and just not be afraid to or shamed or have ego get in the way of asking for help. I'm only a product of a person. I'm a product of being helped. And I'm not self-made. Anything that I've done, I've looked at someone else and I've tried to take those characteristics from that, what I've seen, and apply them into my life so that I can be uniquely me. But I'm just a culmination of everything the books that I've read, the people I associate with, the things that I listen to. It's the dream is in us, but it's not going to come out of us unless we do something to bring it out of us. And we need a catalyst sometime for that. And I just learned so it's so true that anyone who's successful in life didn't get there on their own. They've had help along the way. If you look at the greats, I mean, think about it. Everyone's had a mentor in their life. Just we go through Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson, even Michael Jackson had Fred Astaire. He looked at James Brown, Gene Kelly, and all those people. I was just so amazed because I didn't really understand growing up that there was influences in their life too. I just thought that they were the originators, but that was just my perception because of the generation I grew up in. But when you go back in retrospect and look, everyone that was influenced by someone that I looked at as the first, no, they drew from someone else. So the lineage, does that make sense, guys? What I'm saying? So I hope you understand that anyone that is looking at us right now, I'll just use me personally, and they think, wow, how can I get there? Well, it starts with making a decision. And that's how I started this, talking about this point. It's just a decision. You have to say, I'm going to change. I'm going to do it, and then put in the steps to do that and find out what those steps are. If you can't figure it out, ask, be humble. Just humble yourself. That's what I had to do. They're either going to tell you yes or they're going to tell you no. And if they tell you that they have nothing for you, just ask, like, is there someone that you could direct me to? Maybe that person doesn't have the time to carve out to help you in that way, but maybe they could point you in the right direction. And that's what's been key for me. Whenever I take time to speak to someone, I let them know, look, I don't have all the answers. I can give you perspective from what I've been through, what I've gone through, and what I've learned. And if any of it is applicable to your life, take it and run with it, please. I want to give it away. I don't want to keep it for myself. I've learned that it's better to be a river, not a reservoir. This is not about just the legacy of what Rico King is going to have and nobody else can get it. Hey, player, leave that door closed. Don't let nobody else in here. So we all can eat. We all can get down. We all can do it. And I wanted to even talk about my board of accountability that I've had going on 4 years now. One of the messages on there, I just want to share with you all and your audience, if I may, 10 things. These are basic things, guys. Now listen close. 10 things that require 0 talent. Number 1, effort. 2, energy, passion, attitude, work ethic, doing extra, being on time, body language, being prepared, being coachable. If you do what most are unwilling to do, you'll go to places most people aren't able to go.
Say that one more time, Rico.
I said, if you do what most people are unwilling to do, you'll go places most people aren't able to go. Bottom line. So I'm an excuse eliminator. No more victim mentality. If that's what you was resting on out there, thinking that, oh, well, these circumstances, because considering these circumstances or under the circumstances, what the are you doing under the circumstances? Overcome and become. That's what life is really about. That's what I've learned. And I get passionate about it because I was that person that didn't have this mindset at one point and thought that, oh man, I was just trying to see what other people had done that was just so far beyond my comprehension. Like even when we talk about money, I don't know what $1 billion looks like. I don't know what $1 trillion looks like. I've heard it, but there's people who have reached marks in their life and that's their new normal. So they're stretching themselves as well. So wherever you're at in life, in your finances, in your relationships, in your pursuit of your career, just know that each step every day when you wake up, you just do something to make a deposit into getting closer to that and fulfilling that dream. Stop taxing yourself and make a deposit. That's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to hear.
That's what I'm talking about.
We had one of our viewers, Frankie, he said, I'll put it up again, amen. And I think that you dropped the mic on that one. That was powerful. It's just, I think a lot of people maybe do run around with the victim mentality. And it's funny that you said that about $1 billion. I was a business banker at one point in my life, and I had access to the vault, and just seeing, $7-10 million there as an inner city kid, you see a couple dollars in your account, you see, oh my gosh, I was managing some of these clients that had multi-million dollars, and I'm like, that can be me. And I needed to see something to visualize it. I mean, for myself, it was so really hard, to visualize that as I was growing up, certain things, it would never be me. It could never be me. And it probably wasn't until 2008 where I drew the line in the sand and I'm like, I did this, I did this, I did that. This is what I want to do. I could do it. And it's just been ever since. And, we're talking about a lot of time, just brick by brick by brick, and just building teams and working with good people and working with like-minded people. Crazy things can happen.
Certainly can.
And, I just want to say thank you so much for that and sharing that. And, a part of National Be a Millionaire Day, it's about the millionaire mindset. And if you're watching this, we're talking about some amazing remedies that I highly recommend. Rewatch this, talk with your friends, tag some friends, open up a discussion. What are some of your goals, your challenges? Are you willing to go the extra mile? Because you got a village right behind you and you got 3 people right in front of you that got your back. So Rico, tell us a little bit more, switching gears, talk to us a little bit about the fun stuff, what you're working on now. What are some projects, tell us a little bit more about that.
Wow. The fun stuff is the learning to enjoy the process. Right. So even today I had to do let me change my language because the power of the spoken word is very important. I got to do an audition today. You get to do these things. I don't have to do them. It's a choice. And I got to get up and put my gifts and talents to use. So another puzzle in the pipeline, another piece that could turn out, opportunities. That's what I'm talking about. If we don't seize them, then they have a lifeline, a lifespan, and then they just disappear. So you got to strike while the iron's hot. So right now, I'm working on doing a party coming up this Saturday. I'm also a master of ceremony for different events, corporate events, bar mitzvahs, sweet 16s, you name it, holiday parties, weddings, all of that. And this company, they saw the potential in me and they groomed me to become an MC. I started off as a dancer, but that's been my trek as far as having a microphone in my hand and being able to make an impact with my voice. As a master of ceremony. So every Saturday I'm at a country club somewhere turning up with the adults and the kids, and it's been great, man. Over the years, I've made and touched so many lives, and been able to spread a message of hope and prosperity and make an impact. Like I said, that's what it's really about. Again, how many people's lives are better because I've lived, because I've done something that they're going to remember. And on those special nights when a guest of honor is there to celebrate themselves, I want to make sure they understand that it's all about them. So that's one way I've been having a good time. Other than that, there's some commercials running right now that you wouldn't know if I didn't tell you that I'm in them, but they're definitely in syndication, some in rotation rather, some commercials that are running. I think you have a link to a few things if you ever want to share that with them as well. But also, look, when I talked about, real quick, just to shift real quick, when I talk about surrounding yourself with like-minded people the same way that you do, this guy right here, I want to hold up this book. His name's Lorenzo. So he mailed me this. I've worked with him. This is his cookbook. He's going to be on the Bravo channel on this next upcoming season of one of those shows. He mailed me this, and I've always reached out to him and asked him for guidance. So this is a gift that was given to me, and I received it. And I just look at it, and I think about when I first met him, how this was just a thought in his head. He told me he had a culinary background, but I didn't know that like it would result in this. Like, this is tangible, but it started off with a dream. And that's what I'm talking about. If your dreams are big enough, the facts don't count. You can make things happen, but you have to be a visionary, like Chris was talking about in the very beginning. And for me, that's what it was. I used to be at Radio Shack and Sprint and all those, and have my POS open with the Internet Explorer open, and I would have a folder, and I'd be dream building about the stuff that I'm doing currently, about billboards and magazines and TV shows. And then when a customer would come in, I would minimize the screen and do my job, because you definitely want to give your best while you're there. Thank goodness you have a job, right? And then once they would leave, I go right back to dream building again. So that's what I'm talking about. The dream can become a reality, but you got to feed it each and every single day until what used to be a dream is your reality. And then never stop dreaming after that. Keep on going with it. So that's what's up, man. That's what's going on right now.
You know, and I love it. You know, over here on the round table, we keep it real. You know, we're not sugarcoating anything. These are real people, real stories. And again, our goal is to inspire, connect, and educate you. And, you know, right now we're coming into the portion of the final thoughts. We're almost done, guys. It kind of happened so fast, right?
Yeah.
Pretty fast.
You know, I definitely would love to have you guys back on the show and we can continue the topic. But, you know, with the mindset and the theme tonight of be a millionaire, talking about following your dreams, Chris, what are your final thoughts for this?
Well, my final thoughts is basically what I preach to, and you know me, Ant, for all these years, and most people know me, and for those who don't, I preach taking risks, because without risks, you will get nowhere. You will not know what's on the other side. You will not find success. You will not find the best of you will not come out if you don't take risks. Stop playing everything so safe. Life is too short to play things safe. You have to go out. You have to try new things. You have to take risks. You have to believe in yourself. You have to make it happen. You have to believe in your head that you are already where you want to be. Because if you can't envision where you want to be, and you can't like play it over and over and over and over and over and over and over, no matter where you are in life, you might not be anywhere near where you want to be, but you have to play it in your head. Listen, this is what I'm going to have. This is where I am. I know I'm going to get there. I'm already there. You have to play it in your head. And then once you do that, your mind and your body will put the work in, because it's going to want it so badly, because you smell it, you breathe it, you eat it every single day. You're not going to stop until you have it. So you got to take risks. And the most important thing, I'm going to leave it off with this, is you got to stay fired up. You got to be fired up every single day. When you wake up, it's a blessing to be alive, period. It don't matter whatever else is happening. It doesn't matter. You're alive. That's the biggest blessing in the world. Don't ever take that for granted. Ever. Be happy you're alive. Get fired up and never ever quit.
Awesome. Thank you for those remedies.
Yes, thank you, Chris.
Rico, what are some of your final thoughts for tonight's show?
Again, what Chris said, I just copy and paste. Right there. Risk, man. Where there's risk, there's reward. You got to jump. Your parachute ain't going to open right when you jump, but it will eventually open.
So you heard it here first, guys. No more victim mentality. Start with, I'm going to. Draw the line in the sand. And our final quote of the show, I don't believe you have to be better than everybody else. I believe you have to be better than you ever thought you could be. This is by Ken Venturi.
Wow.
Go in grace, go in peace. Speakers don't go anywhere. And you're always welcome to come back on the Roundtable Remedies. This is Anthony, Mr. Remedy. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, man.
Peace.